Hi, welcome back. So, this is going to be a part three of a three-part series on my experience with the Smile Direct Club. I finally bit the bullet and I decided to go for it and actually fix my teeth or fix my smile. So, while it was COVID, still COVID, it was actually 2021, not 2020. I think everything was closed in 2020. So, I did not do anything. If you want to see the part one and part two, I do break it down. So part one actually is pretty much the pre-process, everything, the research, everything that I went through, the experience, the just the background. The second part was pretty much the whole process of purchasing them, and then maybe like a month or so um, of using them. And then part three, which is this, is actual experience, the whole thing. I had a plan for 4 months. I'm finally done. I actually waited a couple of months just to see how they would settle in and just to kind of figure out if I actually like the outcome or not. And I just wanted to give you guys the feedback on that. I do have a phone that I'm going to be looking at. I have a lot of notes that I did not want to skip or forget. So I did want to do those. So I will be looking at my phone. Well, it's not my real phone, but it's kind of like a backup. But I will be looking into it kind of so that I don't forget all the important details because there's a lot. So I think what I left you guys is part two, and I'm gonna put the links in the description box. So if you want to see the part one and part two, you can check those out. So part three, let's begin. I did go in, like I said, I did go in a little bit in detail on, I think maybe the first two aligners that I already started, but I did not even, it was just the beginning. So I wanted to continue with that. So what I did, it's going to be a long one, but what I did is every time I was using a different aligner, I would switch them off and I would actually write down how it felt, the experience, the feeling, the sensation. And then at the end, so I'm going to give you one by one, aligner after aligner, and then at the end I'm going to give you some pros and cons that I had and some ideas, and then I'm just going to tell you whether it was worth it or not. Do I regret it? Do I not regret it? I'm going to show you my teeth. You're going to check that out. It's not going to be pretty, but it is what it is. And then if you have any questions or comments, please write in the comment section and I will be more than happy to answer those. So let's begin. So, like I said, I started with a liner, maybe one or two. So I'm just gonna kind of like jump back to that just in case you didn't watch that. So I'll just begin with the liner. So I put in, the first appointment I had on May 18th. On May 21st, they gave me my smile. So I kind of took a look at the smile and kind of, okay, do I like it? Do I not like it? So I got that. On May 28th, I got the tracking number. I did go in and the whole payment plan thing. Please go back to part two if you're curious on that. I got the tracking number on May 28th. June 2nd, they were delivered. I did not expect it, so I did not start them on June 2nd because that was super early. I had plans, and I didn't want to screw up my plans, so I kind of started them a little bit later. Now, keep in mind, my plan was 4-month plan with 12 aligners in total. So one of the shorter ones. So first aligner. Oh, by the way, I do want to mention some people get different boxes, and if you look through the reviews on the boxes, some people get 4 pens, like 4 whitening pens. I only got 2, and I think it depends on what kind of plan you have. So if you have a shorter plan, like myself, which is 4 months, they might give you only 2 pens instead of like 4. So first aligners, by the way, I do want to mention this is my first time experience with any kind of braces or anything has to do with teeth. At most I had is just regular cavities and just getting the teeth out. The reason that I did need to get these is because I had wisdom teeth come in, and what happened is they started, whoever tells you, and I've heard this already, they tell you that wisdom teeth do not push your teeth. Yes, they do. I had a normal, I'm not saying it was perfect, but I had a normal mouth. And then when my wisdom teeth come in, they started pushing my teeth in, and I had crowdiness on the top and on the bottom. That was my issue, on top and the bottom. The bottom I didn't care for. I did really want to fix the top, and I thought that because I'm not, speaking to a real dentist, that's one of the things you want to consider when you decide if this is something that you want to do for yourself. Is because I did not speak to a dentist, I was worried that if I move the top but not the bottom, that it would kind of screw up my bite. So I figured I might as well do both, just so that it's on point and they all match each other, if that makes sense. So that's my experience with any kind of braces in your teeth. So first aligners. The first aligners I started on June 4th. And I started them at night. I did read up and I've watched other people, and they did say that start at night. So that's what I did. I started in the evening or at night. And I was supposed to only wear them for 1 week. I wore them slightly longer. There was no pain. There was no pain when I put them in. Just a little bit of annoyance for the first 3 days. So out of that, a week and some days, again, I was wearing them a little bit longer than a week. So if that aligner specifically was supposed to go for a week, I wore them a little bit longer. I was not in a rush. It was COVID times, not lockdowns, but they pretty much had to wear, we had to wear masks, so nobody would see my braces or my aligners. So I figured I'm not rushing anywhere. I'll take my time. I did see people having serious issues with their teeth moving too fast, or they were not ready to be moved, and they had some serious damage, and they had to pretty much kill them, or it just destroyed their teeth. So I didn't want that to happen, so I didn't want to rush, and I figured I would rather take my time and do it a little bit longer than 4 months, but give it a little bit more time so that they move in a nice manner. So the first 3 days of that first week, it was a little bit of annoyance, a little bit like throbbing pain, but nothing serious. Let's see here. No pain, a little bit pressure on the bottom than on the top one. So the bottom aligners had a little bit more pressure and a little bit more uncomfortableness, if I may say that word, than on the top. So that I did notice. And again, remember, I did my teeth, even a smile. You can't really see my bottom teeth, but you can see my top. But I just did that because I didn't want to have an issue with the overbite or underbite. Okay, so this is one of the most important things. Just keep in mind the aligners, if you do decide, they do not reach your back teeth, right? So I had no issues there. My only issue was the front teeth right here. I would say the main 4 on the front, on the top. That was my issue. That's the only reason why I did all of this. And obviously it took care of the bottom as well. So the aligners never reach your back teeth, and maybe half of a second to the back, right? That's if you don't have any wisdom teeth at all. So second aligners, I started them at night again, and I felt pressure everywhere. But the most painful thing was the canines. So the canines was the most painful part, and that was very uncomfortable. And this was more painful than the first aligner. And again, keep in mind, I'm just giving you my feedback. This could be a completely different experience for you. So my experience might be different from yours. So I'm just giving you just kind of an expectation of what happened to me, right? Let's see here. By the way, this is a big one as well. Filing the aligners. I did put notes here. So the first aligner, I did not have to file anything. And the second aligner, I did not have to file anything. I don't think I filed any of them actually. And I had no issues at all. I do not think I have a big mouth. So it's not like I have a big mouth. So the aligners were already too small and I did not have to fill them or file them down. I don't think that's the issue. Maybe I just got lucky. Again, keep in mind, I did not prepay for the whole package. And I think that maybe had something to do, again, it's just a conspiracy thing. Go back to my first and second videos and you'll see the whole conspiracy thing. I don't want to get into it here. Third aligner, I started and the bottoms were fine. And then the second one, the top one, was a little bit more painful. And I had a hard time putting them in on one side. So if that happens, and I'll go into details at the end, that was difficult because it's like you trying to get them in and it looks like they will never go in at all. I promise you they will. It just takes a little bit of time, patience, don't get frustrated. But I'll talk about that at the end. Fourth, aligners. The bottoms were fine. Um, I got the top ones on, but one of the teeth was not going in, and that was a little bit annoying. There was almost no pain at all, no throbbing, no filing. So again, that's my fourth aligner, no filing needed at all. Fifth aligner, they both went in fine. I did hear a lot of cracking, like they was trying to like get them in, and you'll know what I'm talking about when you try yours. It's like a hard plastic, so you will hear a lot of like as you try to get them in. Let's see here. So sixth liner, again, no pain. Sixth liner. I had to wear these for the next 2 weeks. They went in almost with no issues. The bottoms were felt a little bit tight, but again, nothing crazy, no crazy pain. Seventh aligners. I felt some pressure on both the top and the bottom, but taking them out in and out was fine as well. No serious issues. Eighth pair of aligners. It took some time. And I did take the seventh aligners. I spent a little bit more time with them because the eighth aligner was just not going in. So I put them aside. I put back the seventh and I kept them in a little bit longer until I was comfortable to put the eighth. When I put the eighth aligners in, I felt, even though I took longer with the seventh, I still felt a lot of pressure, but I did switch to the eighth. The top had way more pressure and kind of throbbing pain than the bottoms, especially in the back. So that was interesting. Ninth aligners I had to use for 2 weeks. So the seventh and the eighth were 1 week each, and the seventh, like I said already, third time now. I held them on a little bit longer just because I felt something was off, and I didn't mind holding them in a little bit longer so that there's no issues and I don't screw up my teeth, right? So ninth aligner for the next 2 weeks. I felt pressure on the top and the bottom. And I spend more than a week on aligner 7, and I spent more than a week on aligners 8. So that took some time. Aligner 10, I felt more pressure on the top than the bottom. Again, remember that was my main issue, and I'm going to show you my old aligners, my first ones, like the first set, so you'll see where I started and where I am now. Let's see here. 11th pair, it felt okay. I felt pressure on both. I would say the most painful is the first 3 days, I would say. Doesn't matter which week you pick. So even if you have to wear them for 2 weeks, if you have to wear them for 1 week, the first 3 days are the most annoying and the ones that you have to kind of like get used to every single time. And that's when you want to kind of eat a little bit on the soft side, like the food, like bananas, oatmeal, maybe applesauce, just so that you feel a little bit better. Remember, your teeth are moving, so I would not recommend eating anything hard, at least those 3 days especially, just because you don't want to screw it up, right? They were pretty much, I forgot through the whole process. And again, remember, I was supposed to have this for 4 months. I had this for a little bit longer. I forgot how teeth felt, where they were not sensitive or where they were not like soft, kind of, if that makes sense. So I felt how normal teeth feel, like totally, completely forgot how they feel. So this was new normal to me, that my teeth hurt all the time. My 12th set of aligners, which is supposed to be my finish, my last ones, that's it, no more. So This was the hardest set, which is interesting. This was the hardest set. The aligners, the 11th pair, I had them, I was supposed to have them for 1 week. I had them way longer than 1 week because when I was trying to get the 12th pair, the last one, it was hard to get it in. So my 11th one, I took a little bit longer. Again, I was not rushing. I was like, let me take my time with this. It was difficult. Um, Top went in after some time. The top one was the hardest to put in. The bottoms were even harder. So I tried to put them in 2 days in a row. So I tried one night. I got frustrated. I was just so upset. I wanted to cry. I know it sounds silly, but if you know, you know. And finally, I put the 11th one back in, and then the next night I tried it again, a little bit more calmer, and I finally got them in. So I took some time with the last one. So I was supposed to finish the 4 months that I had. I started in June. I was supposed to finish. My first due date was September 24th. Because of all the stretching out, because of everything that I tried to do, and again, remember, you're not really being watched by a dentist. No, there's nobody to consult you. I would not really rely on the dentists that the Smile Direct Club provides you, just because they only see your pictures, and the pictures are, you don't know. I did send my pictures in. They did contact me and they said, hey, send your pictures in. I did send the pictures and they said, oh, everything looks good. Everything was good. Like, you good to go, continue. Um, Again, it's not the same as you go into a doctor. So I figured that I would rather take my time. So I was supposed to finish on September 24th. I finished exactly a month later, which was October 24th or October 27th. Again, those little every week that I would take a little bit extra if I felt like I needed it. Um, the teeth needed to be adjusted, like they needed time. So because of that, I stretched out. So a week might have been a week and a half, 2 weeks might have been 3 weeks, and little by little that added up to about a month or so. So I finished around October 24th or 27th, and there was time to do the retainers. You should have, and they tell you this, they give you like little stickers on your pouches. They tell you to order your retainers 3 or 4 weeks before you're supposed to finish, and they give you like a sticker, a reminder. I did not do that. Everything I did with this company and with this plan was backwards, if that makes sense. Again, check out I would recommend watching the part 1 and part 2 so that you know exactly what I'm talking about. I don't want to repeat myself, just for the people that might not be interested, already watched it, right? So they already know what's going on, and I don't want to kind of bore them. But you can check it out, and I still stand by my words. I still stand by my theories and my conspiracy ideas. I still stand by them. So I did not order the retainers when they told me to. I wanted to finish the whole smile. I wanted to see where I stand, because some people still needed like adjustments, and I didn't want to waste my money, because it's at least $100 if you just buy one set, and then it's a little bit more if you buy two. You pretty much, I think you get like a set for free if you buy two. So you kind of like get 3 sets, if I'm not mistaken, for the price of two. Don't quote me on it. I don't remember. But I didn't want to do that. Again, everything about this, it was not about saving money. It was about convenience, and it was about doing it the right way, right? So what I mean by that is I didn't want to give them my money. And then, because I did read the reviews, I did watch the videos, I saw the customer service that people had, and I was kind of terrified to go into this, and it's kind of expensive, right? So I didn't want to prepay the whole thing. I had to pay extra there, and I didn't want to spend money on retainers and then find out that I can't use them because my teeth are still not where they should have been by retainer 12, which is 4 months. So I waited until I finished the whole plan. I still felt it a little bit like they were moving. I still felt like they were a little sore. So with that last one, I figured it's as well as having a retainer. What's the point of having a retainer? Even though I was planning on getting it anyways, I was planning on getting one, but I figured It's the last set of aligners. It's as if I have retainers. So as long as I wear them all the time, I'm fine, right? No rush. There was absolutely no rush to get them. Even if they took another month to get here, I don't see any issues. So let me see when I ordered the retainers. If I have this written, I should have. So this is another interesting part. So I ordered a set of retainers on October. Oh, okay. I ordered them on October 28th. So I really waited maybe like a couple of days, right? A couple of days before I ordered the retainers. I wanted to check them out and see if I would get the proper fit and everything else. And I only ordered one. It would make sense to buy more just because it would be cheaper, but I wasn't sure what I would be getting. So I figured, again, it's not about money, it's about making sure everything fits right. So I wanted to just get one, and I got one. So I ordered them on 28th. Check this out. I screenshotted it. I screenshotted the confirmation, thank you for your order. 2 days later, I get a text saying that I would have, wait. Okay. 2 days later, I got a text saying, oh, it's time to order your retainers. And I'm like, wait, what? I emailed them and I told them that I already ordered a set of retainers. Like, what are you talking about? So we went back and forth, back and forth. And then they're like, oh, please confirm your information. We want you to confirm your information. And I started feeling like something was fishy. You don't need me to confirm anything because I already did. I got a confirmation. So I sent them a confirmation. So they still insisted on me giving them another approval or something. I felt uncomfortable with it and I didn't want to rush. Again, I have my last aligners. They're good to go. They're fine. They fit. Like, no rush. So after they never got a confirmation from me because I felt very uncomfortable with the whole case. Like, what, did you lose my order? What's going on? So they charged me on their own without my confirmation or my approval. They went in and they charged it. They charged only for one pair of retainers, which was supposed to be the original order that I placed on the 28th. And then a week later, so that took a week. So I ordered on the 28th, couple of days back and forth. Something was fishy. And then a week later, they decided to go in on their own and charge my card, even though they did not have that order, or maybe they had, I don't know. But I thought to mention that because, again, it's that whole thing with communication and the whole money issue and billing that people bring up all the time. And that's why I say that I would rather pay extra, but make sure that everything is kosher with them, instead of just giving them my money and they forget about me, right? So I order them and I get a text on November 11th, that they're on their way. So pretty quick. I ordered on the 28th. It took about a week before they actually charged my card and they finally placed the order that I placed on the 28th, but that took the whole week. And then on the 11th, I already got a tracking number. So the whole ordering, if the order goes through properly, the whole order and the shipping is super fast. So I had no issues there. So I got them. Now, I do want to mention this. The bottom set of my retainers, and this is retainers now, a bottom set was fine and no issues. What I was surprised at is my top one actually had some movement. What I mean by that is my teeth were still being moved by retainers, and that kind of took me back a little bit. I was a little bit surprised. I reached out to them. I kind of got a little brush off. I was not happy with the answer, but I figured that it wasn't a big difference. I didn't feel like it was a drastic movement, and I guess maybe that's their way of fixing leftover stuff, or maybe something that was not fixed with the retainer 12. I felt kind of comfortable enough to kind of let it slide and kind of, okay, fine. It's not a big difference. It just slightly, I could feel a little throbbing, but nothing big. And I think it was just the final step for them to fix it. But that was kind of, that left a bad taste in my mouth, just because that means that they wanted to save money on retainers on an extra set, so that they don't want to do a retainer 13 or something. So that kind of felt a little weird. But I did put in the retainer, and I counted as a 13th aligner, even though I was supposed to have 12. So The only issue now that I have is that if I need to get a new retainer, I cannot use the aligner number 12, which is my last official aligners, because I know there's a difference between the movements of the teeth. So aligner 12 was still not a done set. The retainer is actually the one that kind of finished the whole product. So, okay. Now let me give you, I did write down some like tips or some things that I wanted to comment. But this is it, you guys. And I'm gonna show you my teeth, or maybe I'll show them to you now, and then I'll talk about the little notes, or little tips and tricks, not tricks, but you'll see. So let me show you the outcome and the result. I'm gonna show you only the top ones, just because the bottom ones, it wasn't a big difference, and they're all tiny and you can't really see anything anyways. So I'm gonna show you the top. I'm gonna show you the top because that's where you're gonna see the difference. Big difference. Okay, so let me see. This is my beginner. Do you see that? So this right here, right in the middle, this crooked one right here. So it's the center four. You see that? The center four is the ones that had an issue with. It looks like it looks insignificant, but it really is a big difference. You see that? From here, it might be, yes, right here. You see that? That's a big difference. So this was a big issue for me. Big enough that I wanted to change something. I did not want to go to a doctor because, first of all, I would say the price would be somewhat similar, but the headache of going to the doctor, and I did not have a big difference to fix. It's not like I have like teeth sticking out like this. Again, you see, this was my main issue right here. You see that? So it wasn't like anything crazy, just a little crowdiness, and the fact that, the main four, I would say, needed fixing. So I didn't want to go to the doctor. I would still use Invisalign. I did not want to get metal. I would still use the Invisalign, and I felt that this was a way to go. The price would not be a big difference. Again, I'm repeating myself, I'm sorry. And it was just convenient. You could have done it on your own. I've read up, I've done enough research that I felt comfortable enough that I could do this. It's just convenience. And then let me show you my retainers now. This is the retainer, so you can see the front is a little bit more, and I'm going to show you this way as well. It's straight, right? Now, I'm going to show you my teeth now. Excuse my not so perfect mouth, but it is what it is. I'm going to show you. So, you see that? So I'm pretty happy. Now, couple of issues. If you have, well, let's get into it, and then I'm going to talk if I recommend it or not. But at the end of the day, it's going to be your own opinion and your own decision. So you'll have to do that on your own. I can't tell you. I can't see your mouth. Okay, let's talk about it. So this is what worked for me. I'm not recommending this. I'm just telling you my experience. My experience is going to be very different from your experience. And that's not to take away from yours or mine, right? We're just different people, and different things work for different people. I did grab a few tricks from other people, so maybe something's going to work for you as well. So again, to repeat, I've never done braces. I've never done except cavities and just, fillings. And maybe when I was little, like somebody took out a tooth from me. Otherwise, I had no other experience with braces. So this was my first time official brace experience. So let's get into it. I just have to read through it. That's why I'm sorry for the pause. So I did take them longer than they should have been in, right? So again, if they tell you, okay, this pair is supposed to be in for a week, I held them in longer if I needed to hold them in longer. If I felt uncomfortable or I didn't want to rush it, I held them for a week or longer. So even if it's, let's say, said a week, if I did not feel something was right, I would have held them for a week and 3 days, or a week and 5 days. So don't rush the process. You're gonna ruin your teeth, possibly, right? If you rush it, and it can create damage and to the nerve, and then you're going to regret it for the rest of your life, or you have to shell out way more money to fix that too, that you kind of rushed in. So take your time. I had 4 months. Again, instead, I took 5 or 6. Put them in at night. Everybody says that. You definitely want to put them in at night. It just makes sense. It's easier. You go to sleep. It's easier to get them out in the morning. It just makes sense. Put them in at night if you can. That would be so much better. Don't push and don't rush when you put them in. What I mean by that is sometimes they won't go in right away. So once you change them, it's easy to get the old ones out. But to get the new ones in is sometimes super hard. Don't rush. Take your time. Spend some time on it. Don't do it like, oh, I have to put these in quickly and this is a new pair. No, no, no. You're going to get frustrated. And when you're going to get frustrated, you're going to jab them or shove them in. And then you might create damage. So do not rush. Take your time with them. Do it at your time, at your pace, when you have the time. Not when, okay, let's do this. Let's right? I have 5 minutes. No, don't do that. Set it aside for the next night if you can't do it this night. Again, you're going to regret it if you rush things when you shouldn't. So I had this. I don't know if this is right, but it worked for me, and I'm going to tell you this. So once I put them in, there was a moment when I would put them in, and there was a slight space left in between the I don't know if that makes sense. So let's say they would not go in all the way in. There would be like a empty space between the tooth and the retainer. And if I saw that it was not going in any further, I would leave them that way. I would leave that 1 or 2 millimeters that were empty inside the aligner, so they would not go all up in my teeth. I would leave that, and then the next night I would have no issues with it. I think just to get more comfortable, it worked for me. I didn't want to rush. I didn't want to break the teeth. I didn't want to like crack anything. So it just worked for me. It's not like I let it, sit there for like half of the space. No, just a little, again, 1 millimeter, 2 millimeters. The next day, once your teeth kind of settle into the new set, it's only with the new set. Once it gets settled into the new set, then you can bite down on the little foamy things, and then you can kind of like get it up a little bit more closer. That's what I did. Again, made sense for me. They do, I want to mention it, by the way, they do have like a brush case that they sell. It's not very practical. It's huge. It takes up a lot of space. I did show, I think it was part 2, possibly, maybe part 1. I think part 2, where I showed you like a little carrying case that I used. It was from Anastasia. You can use that if you have that little baggie or something similar, and it has a lot in it. It stores quite a few things in there. Everything you need to on the go, overnight bag. Just everything fits, and it's so small and discreet. So I use that. Their bag, even though it's fancy and it's brand name, it's not practical for me, at least. Let's see. Slept on the side. If you're a grinder, I don't know if that was right, but again, that's what worked for me. I tried to sleep on the side, because if I'm a grinder, I am a grinder, and I felt like if I was sleeping on my back, I would squeeze my jaw, and it would push up the aligners even further up my teeth into my gums. So I felt like when I slept on either side, that kind of eased a little bit. So I felt more comfortable sleeping on either side rather than sleeping on my back when I had the retainers or the aligners. Retainers are fine now, but when I had the aligners, when they were like moving and aligning, it was easier to sleep on the side. I don't know why. If anybody knows, let me know. I did not use the tool. I already told you this video too. I mentioned that I did not use the tool to get them out. I felt like it was I just did not believe in it. If you look at the tool, or if somebody shows it to you, it's just like a little hook thing. And what I don't like is the fact that you get it out from only one side, and that feels so wrong to me. I want to, when I get my retainers out, I'm getting them out automatically from each side. So I kind of like push a little here, push a little here. My nails got really screwed up because the nails are not as strong. These are real, right? So I don't have any tips. I don't have acrylics. So when I was trying to get them out, my nails did get a little bit beat up. But again, it was worth it. I would just, cut them off, file them down, and keep it moving. But it was worth it. So the way I was not using the tool. I felt uncomfortable because if you're trying to get it from one side and you're pulling, it's like you're applying pressure, but then the other side doesn't budge, and it's like it's too much work for me. That was unnecessary. So the way I was doing it is little wiggle here, little wiggle here, and I would just kind of like start moving it, and they come out beautifully with my fingers. Again, just I would just wash, sanitize, and I feel better when I feel it with my hands. If you're a visual learner, you'll get it. If you learn other ways, maybe that's something that's weird that you gotta put your fingers in your mouth. It just worked for me. I felt like it was less invasion in my mouth, and less pushover, if that makes sense. Like that I'm not pushing into my mouth as bad as I would if I actually tried to like just yank the hook. No matter how soft you try to do it, it was a little bit more subtle when you do wiggle wiggle with two fingers. If they don't go in, that's a big one. So I had that a couple of times. If the retainers, the new set doesn't go in, again, there was one set that I really was not. It was just not doing it for me. And what I had to do is I had to let it set. I set it aside, and I came back the next night. I was calm. I was like, we're gonna do this tonight, and I finally got them in. If they don't work, if try one side, get them out. If they don't work, like they just don't want to go in, try to put it in from another side. So let's say if I put this side, but this one's just, there's no way that is gonna go in, take them out, try to put this side first, because that one got in easier, right? So then once you got this in, this might actually pop in way easier than the opposite way. Or if you try to put them in right away, try different ways. Don't try to like, okay, I need to put them in automatically, like simultaneously, like this. No, try one side. If it doesn't work, try the other side. Again, play with it, play around with it. Don't shove them in, and don't try to make it happen right there and then, right? Take your time with it. Again, it's not a big deal if it doesn't go in on the first night that you have to put them in. Even if you put it in on the second night or third night, it's okay, right? But just take your time with it. Patience, please. It's your teeth. Don't order retainers until you're sure you don't need any adjustments, which is what I already mentioned. I wanted to make sure that I finish everything and my teeth looked somewhat decent before I order retainers. That's what worked for me. Let's see here. Whitening. I want to mention that whitening is, I did not do whitening. I didn't want to do them while they were soft and kind of like on the brittle side and like moving. I felt uncomfortable just because I don't know what's in the whitening thing. So I did not do them. I also have erosion of the enamel. And if you know, that's very painful, and I don't want to make it worse with the whitening thing. If you have healthy teeth and you have no issues with your ecosystem in your stomach and everything else, then you should not have issues with like yellow teeth unless you vein. And that's not to put anybody down, but unless you like really have screwed up teeth, I kind of skipped on it. I don't want to have Kim Kardashian white crispy teeth, and then have my enamel eroded. So I didn't want to do that. And then by the time I'm finished, I'm kind of like, I'm over it, right? I'm finished with the whole thing. My teeth are not moving anymore. I'm done. I don't care for the whitening. It's not a big deal to me. So I never done it, but I would wait, and I would not even do it before I would straighten the teeth. I would straighten the teeth and then do the whitening, because first of all, they're sensitive, they're soft. And on top of it, because you are having them, and I'm going to mention this as well, that's going to be my next point right here. You have your teeth in your aligners, so there's no air, they're not breathing. Um, they're bound to be a little bit more yellowy, if that makes sense. So you might as well wait it out, finish them off, and then once they're done, and you're not gonna like keep them for 24 hours or 20 hours or 22 hours, they're gonna breathe, they're gonna, air out, and that's when you can start whitening them, because by that time you're gonna wear them only at night. If you're using the not the night ones where you just sleep in them, but that's gonna take way longer to do the whole plan, right? I'm not talking about that. So I would just do them and then wait and then whiten them after you finish. And I think, let's see here, there's something else that I wanted to mention as well. Okay, so Invisalign versus the SmileDirectClub. The Invisalign might have been cheaper. I don't know. I did not get a quote, so I don't know. But the convenience of not having to travel to a doctor, not have to waste my time in the office, just doing it at my convenience, this made sense for me. Again, keep in mind, I don't have a serious issue. I do not have completely crooked mouth. I just had the issue with the front four, I would say the top and the bottom. So a little bit of crowdiness. I don't think I had any issues with the overbite or underbite. I don't think I had any issues with that. So there was really nothing serious. I did go to a doctor before I started the plan. And even if there were cavities, they were tiny and small that they didn't want to bother them. So I did check out my mouth. I didn't tell them that I was going to get braces, but I did have them check out my mouth to make sure that there was nothing serious, and I did not have to do like a filling before I started doing the braces. So I did do that, and I would recommend you do the same if you decide to go. But I don't think there would be a big difference, even so. It would be either the same price, maybe the Invisalign would be cheaper. I don't know. It's just a guessing game, but this was it for me. I felt like this was comfortable. I'm still paying it off. I will be paying it off for the next, I don't know how long. They charge you for a month, every month for 24 months. So I'm done and over, but I'm still paying for it. I don't regret it though. Let's see here. I did want to mention something else. Whitening, cheaper. Okay. Am I happy? I think that's it. I did want something else. I didn't want to mention. I don't think I wrote it down. Crap. Am I happy? If I try to remember. Ooh, yes. Big one. This is a big one. Before I actually answer, am I happy? The big one for me, this is the biggest one, and kind of like it's like a hate-love thing situation. Cavities. You are in your aligners pretty much most of your time. I was scared of my teeth. I was scared to screw this up. So I religiously wore the aligners as I was supposed to be. At most, maybe one time or two times, I might not have had them in for like 4 hours in one day. Maybe that happened like 2 or 3 times at most. Otherwise, they were always in, always on time. And again, I did not mind not rushing the process, so some of them took a little bit longer, as long as they were done properly. But, and I believe this, if you want to comment, please comment, let me know. No matter what you say, I do believe that this is the case in my situation. Your teeth are sitting in the aligners. I brush my teeth all the time. I'm an adult, I'm a grown-up. I know how to brush my teeth. I change my toothbrush regularly. I did notice, and I don't think it's in my head, that I don't drink a lot of soda, by the way, and if I do, I would drink it without the aligners. I would drink it through the straw, and then I would brush my teeth, again, religiously. I'm scared of screwing up my mouth. I did notice that I got a little bit of enamel erosion, and then on top of it, I think I even started getting some cavities. I'm sure they had that before. I'm sure that was happening before. I think it progressed faster and more suddenly once I got my aligners in, because something that, the air or the oxygen doesn't go in, so your teeth pretty much are like kind of in there, right? They're like in this plastic cage, so the air doesn't circulate, and I think that somehow has an effect on your enamel. I'm not a doctor. I don't have a degree. I never gone to medical school. I do feel my body, and I do listen to my body, and I feel like that was the case. I really do truly believe that that was the case. Do I regret, or would I have done like the would would I not do it, or would I not have done the braces if I would have known this? Probably not. No, I would still do the braces, because even at some point, let's say if veneers come in place, or something, some kind of progressive dental work that is going to be available to me, you still need to fix your teeth. You still have to have straighter teeth, right? To get that work done. So I don't regret doing them. I would recommend, if you don't care of the look, or if you're home, getting maybe the original braces, the metal ones, so that your teeth can still breathe and get the oxygen and get that air circulation. Because I do feel like that kind of progressed it faster. I'm not saying that it caused it. I'm sure it depends on your health, it depends on your genes, it depends on your environment, on your diet. But I think it kind of made it worse, if I may say that. So that's a big one for me. I did notice that. I really can't do anything about it. Again, I followed the plan religiously. I did everything right. I brushed my teeth. I never skipped. I would always put my retainers clean, only water. I don't have a problem with drinking water. So maybe something in the water, I don't know, because I would drink regular water in my aligners or retainers. So I don't know what that's from, but I just want to mention that I did see that. I did see that the erosion of the enamel and cavities, that kind of pushed it a little bit forward. Now, the main question: am I happy? Do I regret it, and am I happy? Do I need adjustments? I don't think I need adjustments. I'm happy with where I am now. Is it perfect? It's not. It's not perfect, because I do have some spaces, but that's because of the form of my teeth, right? I don't have perfect teeth, or each individual tooth has its specific shape, and they cannot change that shape unless they start like shaving it off, or like try to, do some kind of veneers or something. So because of the shape of each of my teeth or my tooth, it's not perfect. I do have spaces, especially between the big ones, the rabbit, like outside of the rabbit teeth, there's a little bit of space there. And then on the bottom as well, again, it's just how my teeth are. So they're not 100% perfect. Do I regret it? I do not regret it. I think I'm very happy. I've noticed that I smile more. Um, give me a little bit of a confidence. It's not noticeable, but somebody mentioned it, and I'm like, oh, okay, well, um, and I don't mind, like, when I smile, if I don't have my upper lip, let's say, if I'm really grinning, right? I don't mind my teeth showing, because they now are straighter and they look good. I'm more comfortable with it. Um, would I have gotten better outcome with Invisalign? I talked about the money, compared the two. Would I have gotten a better experience, or better fit, or results with Invisalign or standard braces? I'm sure I would have gotten better results with standard braces. I'm sure of it, and I'll explain to you why real quick. Let me just make sure you don't need any adjustments. Please remember, I'm done looking at this, but I want to mention this. When I talk about ordering retainers, they do allow you to do adjustments, but if you pay for your retainers, you're going to be out of money if you have to do adjustments. You can get the adjustments for free, But if you pay for the retainers and then you do adjustments, you need to order updated retainers, and for those you have to pay again out of your pocket. So just wait. I would say wait it out, see if you need adjustments, and then order the retainers. Would I have gotten better results if I did the regular standard braces? I'm sure I would have gotten better results. I'm sure, just because the doctor oversees it, he starts moving. Also, the reason why I say this is because I have here a tooth, so I'm gonna show you the way it was. They were on both sides. Remember, I had crowdiness. They were like this. So what they did is they straightened it, but in the dentist office. So I'm going to show you right here. So this is the two teeth. Imagine two teeth, and then here's the little two rabbit teeth. So two teeth right here. They were like this. So what they did is they straightened it out, but they didn't really straighten them out like this and actually move them really bad. So they did move them, don't get me wrong. Again, I can show you, and gonna get closer so you can see there's no issue. You see, it's fine. But let me show you the reason why I'm saying this. You see this tooth right here? You see how it's on the angle? So in order for it, they would have to like turn it. They would actually have to rotate it, right? That's what I'm talking about. So it did not really rotate. I don't know if they could rotate it with the standard braces. Maybe they could. I don't know. But I was just not willing to do the standard braces, just because I deal with the public and I didn't want to have metal in my mouth. At a certain age where I kind of didn't want to have that. And plus, again, I wanted to fix my top teeth. And when I smile, my top teeth are the ones that are showing. And I didn't want to be like a kindergarten, right? With metal in my mouth. Again, vanity, but it is what it is. So would I have gotten better results with Invisalign? I don't think I would have. I think Invisalign is exactly the same thing as this. Possibly the same money. I don't know. This worked for me. I felt comfortable with this. I don't regret it. Again, my teeth are not perfect, but I'm loving, and I don't regret that I did it. Please, if you do decide, you can ask me questions, any comments or concerns, or maybe your experience. I hope it went well. Please, please, please research, look through all the videos, spend your time. I've spent hours and hours and hours on research, months before I actually committed to this. And again, please don't rush. Listen to your body. Get input from other people. I, kind of jumped into it. I did not prepay, but I do not regret a thing. I do not regret anything out of this process. I've been like this with my teeth for, I would say, so it took about 5 to 6 months to fix my teeth because I took it slow. It was supposed to take 4 months. And now I am 5 or 6 months after I'm done with my last aligner. I wanted to wait until they settle in, until they finally feel comfortable. My bite differs a little bit. Like I feel sometimes like I can, things that I could do with my teeth before, now I can't. Or I'm a little bit scared or afraid. Or some I actually can't because they don't line up the same way, or the bite is different. I do not have underbite. I did have a tiny normal overbite because I think everybody has it, where your front teeth is slightly, so this is your bottom teeth, your upper teeth is slightly in front of your bottom teeth, which I think is the norm. It's when it really back here, that's when it's not normal. So that stayed. I don't see any issues. I don't feel any issues. I do have a little bit more cavities now that I went to the doctor. By the way, I do want to mention that as well. I did go to a doctor and they didn't see anything. They didn't comment on anything. So they did not see any serious issues with it. Again, it's 6 months post-op, and yeah, I'm okay. I'm feeling good. I feel happy. I'm finally fixed, right? I don't have any wisdom teeth anymore, so nothing's gonna move them back. I do religiously put them in at night. Even if I forget, I get up and I put them in, because I do feel even if I put them in like super late at night, right? If I stay up, and let's say if I go to sleep, just an example, if I go to sleep at 10 o'clock at night, and then I, let's say, forget, and then I get up and I put them in at 3 o'clock in the morning, I do feel a little pressure on my teeth. So you want to put them in religiously, and it's been 6 months. They tell you to do that, I think maybe a year, at least a year. I am a grinder, so I might as well put them in. It doesn't matter for me. At least one set, right? At least one set. But I'm putting in both of them. But yeah, so it's 6 months. I'm pretty happy. I still brush my teeth on a regular, right as soon as I eat. But again, I don't put them in during the day, just at night. Whew, I think that's it, you guys. Yeah, it was certainly an experience for somebody who first time ever had any kind of braces. It was certainly an experience. Um, Hang in there, and again, please consult a doctor if something feels off. If you don't feel comfortable, if this is not for you, please don't go for it. I told you the good, the bad, and the ugly. Um, I'm in no way affiliated with them. I'm just giving you my experience, because that's what I was looking for when I was kind of going for it, right? So yeah, I hope it goes well for you if you do decide to do this, or if you go a different route. Um, Again, if it's not a big job, you might as well go to a doctor. But it was just convenient for me with everything going on and offices closed now, or insurances and stuff. Now I'm just rambling. But this is it. Yeah. So thank you guys for watching. If you have any questions, please write below. Maybe I forgot something or I wanted to mention and I kind of skipped that part. Just write to me. Okay. I hope you are well, safe, healthy. And if you are looking to fix your smile, I hope it goes well for you. Bye.